So for today's lesson, we are looking at how to find distance between 2 points. This is something that happens in real life, and it's also something that you guys will see on your assessment in a couple weeks. So first things first, distance between means to subtract. If that's hard for you to remember, think about it in terms of whole numbers. If I'm 8 feet away and you're 5 feet away, if I want to know the distance between us, 8 minus 5 is 3. And 100% of you would know how to do that, except once I put fractions into it or negatives, it becomes harder. So always put it in terms of whole numbers, and that should make the problem easier. Another thing, distance is always positive. So when asking for distance between, we're also not only going to be dealing with subtraction, but we're also going to be dealing with absolute value. So here's what the problem looks like. You're going to take point A and B and subtract them. 100% honest, the order does not matter here because we're going to take the absolute value at the end. So A minus B, there's distance between, and then because it's distance, we have to take the absolute value of it. So for example here, I have a point, -2 1/4, and I have a point 1 2/3. Now, they're not labeled A and B, so you guys can feel free to label them in any way you want. I'm going to label that one A and that one B just because left to right. And then I would solve it using the formula above. So I'm going to take the absolute value of A, -2 1/4, minus B, 1 2/3. Okay, so this is something we've been learning, but I'm going to show you guys how to solve it. Sorry if the camera's shaky. So I'm going to KCC. Then I'm going to change it from mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9/4. Don't forget your absolute value signs and your negative sign. Plus -3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Doing the absolute value. Now I have to find common denominators, which would be 12. So I'm going to multiply this by 3. So now I've got 27. Oops, don't forget your absolute value. Don't forget your negative sign. Over 12 plus -20 over 12 absolute value. 27 plus 20 is going to give me the absolute value of -47 over 12. Absolute value, I'm going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, I'm out of frame. Sorry guys. Here we go. So all I did while I was out of frame, because I was looking at my paper and not the screen, was once I found my common denominators, I knew to add because both of my signs were the same. So here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take care of the absolute value. So the absolute value of -47 over 12 is +47 over 12, and then I'm going to want to change this to a mixed number. I know 12 goes into 48 4 times, but this is 47, so it's going to be 3, and I was 1 away from getting to 12, so it means I have 11 left over. So the distance between, up here, the distance between -2 1/4 and 1 2/3 is 3 11/12. Always stop to make sure your answer makes sense. So I'm about 4 away from each other here. So to get from -2 to 0 is about 2, and to get from 0 to 1 2/3 is again about 2. So it should take me about 4. 2 and another 2 is about 4, and 3 11/12 is pretty darn close to 4. Okay, rewatch the video if you need to. When I'm available, please ask questions. You guys may see examples sometimes where they don't give you the number line. They may just give you the 2 points. The process is still the same. 1 point minus the other point because it's distance between, which means to subtract. And then absolute value because distance is positive. Drawing the number line is always helpful when making sure that you are doing the right operation and that your answer makes sense. All right, good luck on your practice problems. You may work together on this, but remember that I am helping out groups, so I need it to be quiet enough so that they can hear me and learn from me. All right, have fun.